Hiya, and welcome to another Reading Wednesday with your girl, Logan. It's on my birth certificate. That's what I'm named, and I also read. Whole reason why I have this channel, and today I'm gonna do something that I was envious of other booktubers for doing. Well, it's just like a known, common video that booktubers do. It's like a monthly wrap up of what you read that month, and I kind of want to do that just to see if I like it, So we're gonna do a May wrap up. All the books that I've read this month. And I'm not going to go in detail as I usually do with my, if I'm doing a book review on just one book. I'm just going to say, what I rated it, how I felt about it overall. And then I'm going to say my favorite book. And of course, we're going to have an illustration going at the same time, kind of themed around May. It's spring. I dressed for spring. Am I a spring girl? No. I was born in summer. I'm an August baby. I love the summer. I love sweating to death, honestly. It's I just love it. I love the sun. So I'm definitely a summer child, but spring is good too. I have allergies though, so but not like pollen goes away in the summertime, so I don't really know why I said that. But anyway, we're gonna get into it. Here we go. May wrap up all the books I read in May. Okay, first up, we have a book that technically I started this way before May, but I just happened to finish it in May because I was like, oh yeah, I'm tired of this being on my reading list. I'm tired of this being on my currently reading shelf, and I was either gonna take it off, but I was so far through it, I was like, we might as well just finish it, and that is The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. It's an old weathered copy. I don't know where I got this from. I think a teacher was giving away books and I was like, I'll take that. And that is. No, this is her debut. Toni Morrison, I think she won, what did she win? The Nobel Prize in Literature. Nobel Prize winner. This is not the first book I read of hers though, even though it is her author debut. The first book I read of hers, I believe, was Sula, and I read that for my AP literature class, senior year of high school. I chose that one and I liked it better. Honestly, I ended up rating The Bluest Eye. I feel like people are gonna come for me if you're a fan of Toni Morrison, or if you're just Black in general, maybe you're gonna come for me oh, you can't say, but I gave it 2 stars. And it's a classic. I understand it, but I gave it 2 stars. That I did. I did not and I don't think I liked Morrison's observations on Black culture and the Black African American community. I don't think I appreciated. I don't think I related to it either. Okay, even though I understood my sister could, and she kind of grew up in I don't want to say it's a different time. But she is 12 years older than me, but she could recognize, understanding the fact of someone. There's the main girl, Pekala Breedlove, okay, and her whole family kind of believes that they are ugly, and just because of that, such an intense belief that they are ugly, even if they are not, because they believe it, they look like they are ugly, It was like that. And of course she's a wonderful writer. I understand. I mean, like I said, I read her before, and I've liked her better, but I think I disagreed with what The Bluest Eye was telling me. And even in the afterword by Toni Morrison, she was like, yeah, I wouldn't say that I'm 100% satisfied with how I went about this. And the reason, she wrote this book was because one of her classmates, a fellow Black girl, said, I wish I had blue eyes. And it threw Toni. It was like, what? Girl, what? She was like, you wish you had blue eyes. And the idea of a Black girl with these bright blue eyes and her dark brown skin, even though it's possible for Black people to have natural, blue eyes. We can have blue eyes, we can have red hair, we can have blonde hair. But anyway, the idea of a Black girl wanting that, and being discouraged and disheartened that she couldn't. She wanted to figure out why and how you could get to that point. And the way she went there, I was just like, I don't think this was necessary, Toni. I was like, part of me feels we did a little too much, but okay. I was like, I get what you tried to do, but I disagree with the approach. And I mean, I don't disagree with how anything was written. I think it was beautifully written. I just disagree with the story elements in general and the observations we made. And I didn't like also how she talks about sex at times. The way I was like, bruh, I understand. The way she talked about sex was so crude in language sometimes. And this is what the thing with that topic is, it's like you either try to romanticize it and it's like you make it very flowery and like, oh my god, making love and all of that, or you try to sound poetic about something we all know about and is talked about like all the time in our society. You try to make it poetic, but then it like becomes the opposite effect where it sounds clinical, or in this case, animalistic. And maybe that was her point. Either way, I didn't appreciate it because it just I was like, the way she would talk about it was like, we're just animals on this earth to mate, breed each other. And I was like, no. I was like, no, Tony, please, Tony. It's like, I can't do this today. So I gave this 2 stars. Not my favorite of hers. I'm gonna read more of Toni Morrison. I want to read Tar Baby. I don't know what else is in. I'm like, what else does she have? She has like Beloved, but I'm not gonna read that. I don't want to read that one. But I want to read Tar Baby. So this is her debut. It was good. Of course, it's like, I think for it being a debut, it just established her as an immense talent. For a debut novel, it's like, dang, okay, like you came out the gate with that. You came out the gate just, wow, all right, bold with it. So anyway, that was 2 stars. Not the best. Okay, didn't like it. Was not a fan. And then my second book I read in May was I think I began this in I began this in April. I was getting my dates mixed up. But If I Disappear by Eliza Jane Brazier, also a debut. She's like, apparently if you read the her little bio, is that a bio? I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, that little blurb there. She's currently developing this for like television. And I would watch it. Honestly, I would watch it. I gave it 2 stars. 2 stars I did. And that's because, first of all, it's supposed to be like a mystery thriller. I read it honestly because the cover is beautiful and I loved it and I wanted it on my shelf. And I'm not ashamed about doing that. I do that constantly. Okay. I very much do judge books by their covers anyway. But yeah, that's why I read it. But it was supposed to be a mystery thriller. It was very slow. It's agonizingly slow sometimes. But I had to applaud her for even keeping me interested. I was like, how am I still reading? And it's also told in second person. So it's like this middle-aged woman, she gets divorced after having a miscarriage. And she's settled in the marriage anyway. And then she's like, listens to this crime podcast, and the podcaster goes missing. And she goes to that girl's hometown and she figures it out because she's like, what happened to her? I'm gonna know. I need to know. So she does. But like, and you would think, that's like, that sounds interesting, right? But no, it was really slow. And she's talking to the person she's looking for, named Rachel. Okay, so she's saying you. Sometimes that threw me off, and for a second I didn't even want to read it because I was like, I was like, no, I hate second person. Who really likes second person though? Okay, second person is like just the thorn in the side, I feel, of like the book world in general. Because, like, how many books are actually written in second person? You got this. You got the You series. That's like a show on Netflix. Pretty sure that's written, of course, in second person. I just can't. I can't take it. I can't. So anyway, but this was 2 stars because, first of all, there's like a twist at the end that I thought was kind of like weak. It's weak, pointless. And it wasn't like just, what was the point of it? It was just very unoriginal to me. Okay? It didn't feel like we did anything special here. 2 stars for that. I was just really unimpressed with that. And that kind of was the trend for all, I think, of the thrillers I read during this month. All of the thrillers are like very lukewarm. If I could just, lukewarm is like the perfect word for that. Lukewarm. It was like, this is terrible, That's like, who wants to just take, like, if you were gonna take a bath, you're gonna make it lukewarm? No. Okay? Like, stop playing me. Stop playing me. And then the second book I read was actually an ebook. written by Elle Watson, and it was her debut as well, called Sticking to Emma Daniels, and it was a cute little interracial romance, black woman, white man, and it was like she hits him with her car, because well, it was like a disaster rom-com or something, and so their luggage got switched up, and then she had to meet him there, but then she like finds her boyfriend cheating on her there at the restaurant, and then she gets confused and takes his bag again, even though they were there to switch and get their bag sorted out. So then he has to go and get his bag from her, but she hits him with her car, and then he gets a concussion, and then he can't go to sleep for 8 hours or something, so she has to stay with him for those 8 hours, and then over the course of those 8 hours they just fall in love. They fall in love, and it was really cute. It took me a long time to read because I'm really bad at reading things like ebooks. I'm just bad at reading ebooks. I haven't tried audiobooks, but I'm bad with reading on my phone. I need a physical book to really hold me accountable almost, but I did do it, and it was also hard because it was kind of like a slow burn, even though it happens over the course of a day, so you're like, how can it be a slow burn? But it really was. These dudes mastered the chicken dance. Do you hear me? They mastered it. They mastered the chicken dance. Ain't nobody chicken dancing like these bozos, these buffoons. They were just drawing. She was drawing it out. If anything, I was like, Watson, you gotta give me something. You gotta give me a little more. I'm not asking for them to be all over each other. I'm just saying this back and forth, and then this flirting, and but we're not. No one's making a move, and no one's saying anything. We're all acting act like this with everybody. I can't deal with that. I'm just you gotta give me something. It was taking a long time, so I did take a break from it for a while, but then I was like, we're gonna power through, and we did, and it was adorable. I gave that 4 stars, sticking to Emma Daniels, 4 stars. Yeah, it was really sweet. And I also really loved the love interest she made. He was the black girl was worked for an art curator or something, a gallery and stuff. She was trying to get this famous work of his mother, who was an artist, right? And then he was also an artist, and she actually loved his work and was trying to get him to draw, will give her something for her gallery and stuff. But then he was in a depression because he got broken up with, and he just can't do art no more, So anyway, it was really sweet. But I loved how she made this boy just all about this girl. He was all about her. He was she cute, and I like her. And I love those books. I love books where it's the men are just yeah, I like her, and what about it? I'm gonna do something about it. That's what I'm gonna kiss you. With your consent, I'm gonna kiss you. Can I kiss you? Because you cute. I like that. That's what I like. Give me more. Delicious. Kudos to the chef, my guy. So that was a good book. I look forward to it looks like it's gonna be a series of just catastrophe romantic comedy. So I'm I will read the next one. Miss Watson, I will read. It was a nice little debut, little ebook. And then my next book was Love is a Revolution by Renee Watson. Another Watson. Are they related? We don't know, because I'm not Sherlock. I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry about that. Let's stop it. I'm sorry. Shouldn't have done all that. That was extra. That was very extra. I apologize. Anyway, but yeah, Love is a Revolution by Renee Watson. Once again, as you can see, the cover is gorgeous. Beautiful. Look at it. Bam! Beautiful big black girl. Then we got, bam! Beautiful big black girl with a cute little black dude. Then we got them looking shy over here. They all lovey-dovey. Then they're oh my god, he's so cute. What she thinking? Oh, she's so cute too. And then they over here, and they're talking and stuff, and getting deep, getting emotional. And then they're oh my gosh, we gotta go home. Let's knock it off. It could never work. It was everything. And I wanted this on my shelf. You're absolutely darn shooting right. I also read this because the cover was gorgeous. Did I like the book just as much? No. No, I did not. I gave this 2 stars. 2 stars, okay. And that's because this was so generic. It was so generic, and also despite this cover being so cute and the people being really cute and stuff, they weren't though. Their relationship, boring. boring. Their relationship was like flour, rice cakes. And I'm sorry if you like rice cakes, but that's bland. Tasteless oatmeal, gruel, if you were, okay? Just very boring, very boring. And I tried so hard, but it was just, and then she got on my nerves because, it's not really spoiler, she lies to him because she's like, I'm a vegetarian. He's like he works for Love Harlem or something. He does a lot of charity stuff, okay? And so she thought he was out of her league and she was trying to be more like him. So she said, like, hey, I'm a vegetarian and I volunteer here at my grandma's retirement community or whatever. And she didn't, of course. And I was so mad she lied because it was so obvious that he was into her. Like, he was actively dodging this other chick to talk to you. He was like, I don't want to talk to you. Yeah, your hair do look nice. What about it? Okay, moving on. Hello, girl. How you doing? He was like that. He was literally like that. I was like, okay, I'm not like the smartest person. Like, if you were flirting with me, you'd have to do a whole lot for me to know, like, oh yeah, this person likes me. But if someone treated me really nicely and then turned around, treated someone else like nice still, but just not as nice, then I would get the hint. I'm like, homeboy feeling me. Homeboy feeling me. And that's what I would say. I would get it. So I was like, girl, why do you not understand? Why do you not understand? Why are we lying? Why are we lying and saying we're a pumpkin pie when we pecan and we know he liked that too? Why are we playing games? So it just made me mad. I was like, I hate books in general where like the main conflict is literally just like miscommunication. It's like just the communication issue. That is so annoying. I'm like, no, just say what you mean and mean what you say and all of this can be avoided. And it was just really dry too. Also, as a young adult book, it felt like she was way younger than she is. Like, I think she's like a junior and she's going into her senior year of high school. She sounded like a middle schooler to me. And the writing in general was very juvenile. And this is the first book I've read of Renee Watson. I know she has others, like Pieces of Me, I think is like her debut novel that got a lot of attention and like, you know, a lot of acclaim. So I'm willing to give her another chance, of course, but this was just not it for me. 2 stars, baby. 2 stars. And then after that, I read a book that I did not plan on reading at all, which is Kim Ji-young, born 1982. Did I say that right? We don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't think to look it up before doing this. That is on me. That is on me. Okay. But a novel by Cho Namju. I don't know. I feel so bad right now. I feel so stupid. I'm very ignorant at this moment. Very ignorant right now. Anyway, but it was an international bestseller, and I think I saw one of my friends on Goodreads put it on their like to read shelf, and then I did, and then I saw that my library actually had it, so then I checked it out, you know. I gave this one 5 stars. I did enjoy it quite a lot. It's really short, as you can see. So I read it in literally not a day, but I got it one day and then I finished it the next. But it was so good and it's so short and sweet. And I really like that. I really appreciate that. When you just tell the story, you say what you gotta say and you get out, that's the best way to deliver your point. Thank you. Okay. So, I was kind of set in modern day Korea. Kim Ji-young, born 1982, mesmerizingly diagnoses the endemic misogyny and institutional oppression that is relevant to us all. And she kind of goes through her life from child to adulthood, and it takes place after she has a baby and leaves her job to become a stay-at-home mom, and then she kind of goes into a psychosis where she becomes other women in her life. Like, she just speaks like them, and she genuinely kind of believes she becomes them. She's not herself at that moment, and she speaks of herself in the third person. So, yeah. And then it ends with her. She's recounting all of her whole life story to a therapist, and then the therapist is just it ends with the therapist talking about one of his female employees who is now leaving because she's pregnant or something, and he's like, next time I'll try to hire a woman who's unmarried. And it was just such a perfect ending to me, because it was just this will continue, and Kim Ji-young is really just one of many. It really pointed out how it was a very kind of desolate ending to me. It felt like just a punch in the gut for him to say next time I'll just get an unmarried lady, because it's she just noted how mundane this tale actually is, and that millions of women have gone through this. Well, but yeah, have gone through this and will continue to go through this unless something changes in our society. And I really did like that book. It was short and sweet, but very poignant. So, like, no words wasted on that one. Let's see. And then after that, we have Darling Rose Gold by Stephanie Robel, I don't know. 2 stars. Gave this 2 stars. It was kind of based off of Gypsy Rose Blanchard and her mom. You know, that cold crime, like true crime story. I don't know. It seems wrong to say true crime, but I mean, she did commit matricide. I believe that's what it's called. You know, her mom was poisoning her, or like just making her believe she was debilitatingly sick for years, most of her life, when in fact she was not. And the same thing happens here with our main character, Rose Gold, except in this book it's posed as her mom gets out of prison after a sentence of 5 years, moves in with her and her baby, Rose Gold's baby, and then they play like this cat and mouse game of like who will come out on top, except I don't know what's wrong with the cat or the mouse, but they're already like half dead. It's very boring, very generic, hardly a thriller, lukewarm at best. And I was like, after I finished it, I really was like, why did you write this though? What was the point? Like, you really put effort into doing this because you did nothing new. Nothing was like exciting. Nothing was revolutionary. Nothing was inventive. And I'm not saying that it has to be, but for something that's already been like, so I feel like that case, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, I feel like that has been, the media has been saturated with that already. I feel like we already kind of know that dynamic, you know. We have a movie that was based, we have Run on Hulu, I'm pretty sure, with like Sarah Paulson, okay? And we have the show with the girl from The Kissing Booth. Sorry to reference her like that. I don't know her name. I forgot it right now. But yeah, so, I mean, we already explored this trope, you know? And so it's like you put the effort in to do it again, but you didn't add anything. Like, you really didn't, though. Like, this is lifetime in a book. That's like the most, I'm like, yeah. That's how I would describe that, actually. And then my last book was also an ebook. Well, not an ebook. It was an e-arc or advanced reader copy of The Other Black Girl by Zakaya Harris. We're going to say Zakaya Harris. I'm sorry. Let me see. Delilah. I think it's Delilah. Zakaya Delilah Harris, The Other Black Girl, which I asked for an advanced reader copy, and I was given that via NetGalley, and so I read that in like a few days. It comes out June 1st of this year, and so I wanted to read it before then, of course. And I gave that one 3 stars. It was good, and it's Harris's debut novel. And it's about a black girl who's working in the publishing company. She's the only black girl there until another black girl arrives. Her name is Hazel. And then after that, she starts receiving notes saying that she should leave Ragnar, which is their publishing company. And she's like realizing something is off about this Hazel character. Now, I gave The Other Black Girl 3 stars because it felt like the subject could have been handled better. I felt like the hands that handled the subject weren't necessarily sure. I did like the ending of the book. I know that I saw someone else who read it and didn't like it, but I did like the ending of it, actually. And it's just one of those, it was like supposed to be a thriller too, and I would also describe it as lukewarm. I don't know what it is, but these thrillers are not thrilling at all. And it takes them a long time, especially The Other Black Girl and If I Disappear, and I mean, all of them really. It takes them a very long time to get thrilling, and that's near the end of the book. And I just don't think that's right. I understand that it's supposed to, like, but you should build up the tension and such. So I feel like in The Other Black Girl, that could have been, like, the tension between Nella, which is our main character, and Hazel could have been like ramped up with more things, more bizarre things happening to her, basically, because I didn't get the sense that Hazel was an actual threat to Nella's life, but by the end you absolutely know that she is a threat to Nella's life. And then another thing that I thought was strange kind of was this boyfriend that the main character had, Owen. We never really got like a real good physical description of him, and that just bugged me. That's just something that bugs me. I didn't mention it in my review. I mentioned it in a status update, but I didn't mention it in the review. But like legit, that bugged me because literally everybody else would get like a play-by-play of outfits and everything, and I just felt like the people closest to her didn't really get like physical descriptions, and I'm like, that's weird. That's suspicious. But anyway, yeah. So those were all the books I read in May. 7 total, and the little illustration I made in regards to this looks like something a child would make for their mother. But you know, we'll get better. It really does. It really does look like that. I still like it. It's cute. You know, if I had done like wash, it of course would have looked so much better. But like I wanted this to kind of be quick. So yeah, I got my little sun, got the date, the month here, got a little rainbow on my tree stump. It does say 7 books read, of course, and then I would like to make you feel better about it being a stump. The only reason it's a stump is because I didn't have room for the rainbow if it was a full-grown tree, so I was like, there's a little sprout coming up because this is a time for new beginnings. And also, so then in the rainbow I wrote, first here I have my favorite book of the month, which was Kim Ji-young, born 1982. That was my favorite. And then of course I read one classic, which was The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. One contemporary, which would be the Kim Ji-young, born 1982. And then 2 rom-coms, which was Sticking to Emma Daniels and Love is a Revolution, and then 3 thrillers, which would be The Other Black Girl, Darling Rose Gold, and then If I Disappear. Yeah. So that's what I read in May. Thank you for watching. That's all I got today. This Reading Wednesday. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you made it to the end. If you tell me what you read in May, what genres you found yourself reading the most. I'm surprised I read 3 thrillers because it's not like I go out of my way to get those. Usually I'm not a big thriller and mystery person, but all the thrillers I read were pretty kind of contemporary anyway. So tell me what you read in May. Tell me what books you want to read in April. I guess I could do that, but this video is long enough. I'm gonna let you go. Have some thoughts, read a book. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a great day.